Now, when I pulled out, my attention was drawn to a gentleman called Ralph, who was at the center of the controversy. And so he was walking towards us as a group. The medical director was with me. The deputy director general was also with me. Then I asked, why did you do this, gentleman? When I asked, most of you were there. I mean, the press, you were there. So you can attest to what I'm saying. You were there with me. When I asked him, the gentleman then stretched his hand, shaking me and trying to whisper something into my ears. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, should I push the guy that don't whisper anything into my ears? Should I snub him? Should I shout at him?
So who assaulted who at what point? And it's all book stories and lies. And I dare the Ghana Medical Council and the Great Hospital to bring the footage, the CCTV footage, and in the hospital. And in that ward, the trauma unit, I saw cameras there when I had gone there to visit the guy on the Monday. Because on the Monday, because of my advocacy, people think Ralph just make noise and do things as, you know, somebody who doesn't know what he's about.
Ralph, unless you say CCTV footage but according to initially a Rich Hospital administrators got send footage be any ho. Me who there footage. I'm very certain say be investigation e cost no ntino ama footage footage aba. Footage aba no timi say say Ralph e kono so. Okono so no nsa na o say ye ne ya no. Ana oto ye o de bonus ni nsa. And udu say nurse ni akura apaja nsa o ma Ralph warning. And the second attempt to okono we want say ya so Ralph mu a preventing say onko nurse ni so. These are the clear incidents you see here. Unless there's another video. I ever just say bonus in a empty. Hey, Jesus. Now say Ghana for the settings in the jadam. Now that's what do so. The way ni tea managing ni tea ni. Maybe another video for you. Me not sure. Some video ni ni but say ni padia. Hey, investigation health minister oye. We do nyankopon. Say Ralph mochire na. Say anes ni mochire. Ghana adibesabia asamfufro na asemba akoba yare so aka ne kese aye 2-3 days ye ka wie na wey enche enso be wie our Rich Hospital ensema see ma Ralph Williams eko kosu commotion ma hu ye sembe brebe Ghana for tira madwene na Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association the letter by na letter nsem bebrebe na de na ehia on kese pa e ba akopɛ about 5 paragraphs no 1 paragraph paragraph 4 na ehia on kese pa according to the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association for the omokan na say na minister kwabena minta kando say ubeyesa na yen na odebeyesa wo we minister the sector minister na enam say Ralph Williams wo ye NDC ni mapanti na waba be hu ye wie ya kan dia si na kirewo ye expect say nka hona bufo so entem kobega si ye go arrest abranti ye go hwa ye say hu video awo oni Ralph ag pa ase nyonko do bia ko ye chese momfa viano enkere do mam hono no na moye sheki na mahage na nsemhunu be no na msi o general secretary aduru ho o si minister no adan oye kuani na oye farmer is he a farmer he should better go and learn his job that's a minister no go so na adwuma na onim na adwuma na Ghana ni aduru ho Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association mo general secretary not the president and all granting interview for that same case you are obi so asem de Ralph ye wa anya de kasa of asu kasa no wa anya de The same kasafi kasatwie na also yakoma minister no. Osi minister na onimu adwuma. Onye serious one say. Dori era afra no say kwa we wa maso be boy. Ana say eye minister na on neka so say anti. Ma menka na kora nche na Ghana ha dia say nto no ya doso. Na as a minister wo kokko hage obi because say oye ndisi na raf no oye hwan.
Actions. So I'm just asking again, you have a direct difficulty with the minister openly embracing the guy in question, correct?
We have direct difficulty with the whole concept of not arresting the guy, including the minister affectionately embracing the guy in public and sending wrong signal that the guy can do whatever he likes in this country. I mean, it's something that sends very wrong signal. The optics are not good. People are very much annoyed with that kind of scenery. We think that it is not sensitive to the plight of the ordinariness, and we need to be guided.
But then again, you saw the head of Rich as well in that interaction, didn't you?
Oh, we did.
So why is the issue just the minister? Didn't the head of the facility itself also engage the individual in a friendly tone?
Okay, so we interacted with the head of facility and we made our views very clear to him. We denounced that kind of behavior. We made it clear to him that we're not very comfortable with that. He gave us a certain explanation which didn't go down well with us. But of course, head of facility was not being followed by a police officer. We saw that the minister had a police officer behind him, and if we know that this is a crime suspect, he could have just pointed to the guy to be apprehended. And they know the guy. It's not like they don't know the guy. You and I know the guy. It's not the same guy who blocked the 37 military hospital, access to 37 military hospital, and telling all Ghanaians that majority are fools, and for that matter, if fools dies, what happens? And he thinks that he has the infantry to go to another health facility for healthcare, and everybody should die, but he should be saved. Is that not the case? Because he's more human than any other. He's more Ghanaian than any other. We think that we need to bring people to justice when they misconduct themselves. Okay? And we need to be very intentional about making sure that people do not see themselves as though they are above the laws of Ghana, irrespective of wherever they find themselves.
So in that, I'll go back to that bit you raised with the minister. What did you expect the minister to do at that point? When the guy...
That point, we were expecting that, having been briefed by management and even the nurse in question, and the fact that the whole thing came on social media, the young man was throwing his weight about in the hospital, which as a sector minister, you should know that that is not how things must be done at the hospital. The guy should have been arrested there and then. And I told you that the minister is always followed by a police officer. And therefore, if we have the wherewithal, if we think that things ought to be done rightly and properly, the guy should have been apprehended there and then. And don't forget that there's a police post just by the mortuary of Rich Hospital. They could have called for reinforcement. If you think that the duty of the police officer is just to protect the minister, that's fine. But while they were interacting with the guy, they could have called the police to come and apprehend him. How many minutes will it take for some police officer to even run from the mortuary of Rich Hospital to where they were standing?
Now, this the way now before no call here also di atemono. Not just say woman here say your friend the health minister. Kwabena mita kando say obeni honorable be you are no. Now we dey wa wadwuma yeni obi o hye wase se ato de de se oba wanim na wabe have negotiations e de ama ni kuoma no ne buafo o se say de wo yes kwan for so you adwuma ne de ase wo yekuani na fortunate enough health minister oniebu for tsame and comedian kamikeka bi pa kire no ana so moma ne nka we nya ase bia na sa allegation na omode to no so nya no kore one almost obehage raf na say nye ono nkwa na hage no the director of the facility outrage honum no also your doctor te say omo ano so hage ono so bi e sheki ono so nsa ana omo ehu e no again after BBS here no omo no mo ko ana omo say we pull out from the car ana nkomodi die mu na sa hage ne bae ana ni mu amunamunu wona no ontimi nga say omo nkonche no How? Onye police ni. A police for na chinipa. And besides, so so grieved and peeved. Say, ono hagi abrante na ngese omo chena. What happens to omo as an association omudi can be do before so no be do. Assembly is Sunday, ono ba Monday. And Sunday next year no omo kwanya bias as citizens. So met my reporter police for. There's just a police post I want in front of omo pepe. Eba na say no man reporter me anti-raf. Ah omo try say all this ono minister na ba. As no be reporter me ache no.
Now, when I pulled out, my attention was drawn to a gentleman called Ralph, who was at the center of the controversy. And so he was working towards us as a group. The American director was with me. The deputy director general was also with me. Then I asked, why did you do this, gentleman? When I asked, most of you were there. I mean, the press, you were there. So you can attest to what I'm saying. You were there with me. When I asked him, the gentleman then stretched his hand, shaking me, and trying to whisper something into my ears. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, should I push the guy that don't whisper anything into my ears? Should I snub him? Should I shout at him? Even if that guy has been prosecuted and sentenced to life imprisonment, and he stretches his hand to shake me, as a minister, as a public officer, I have the duty to stretch and greet him. So let us not reduce the fact that I shook hands with him does not mean that I should stop any measure or any steps that the ministry or government will take to unravel the situation. And so I understand, on a more lighter note, I have been reminded of the fact that I'm a farmer. Yes, nobody needs to remind me. I'm a proud farmer, and everybody knows it. Not until my appointment, I was one of the largest rice farmers in this country, and I'm proud of that. Yes, we have a lot to deliver, and some of these things will not divert our attention. We will continue to do our best for Mother Ghana. I thank you for the opportunity.
Now you will say, assembly, I say, I am nakakra. Yango peraf nankasa, na so ye, bibi owo. No nankasa nchire ni se mu, die importi na okoye ya. Abufu about to the sense a general secretary of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. Omo general secretary buafu gidi. Odi a sector minister atem. A whole minister of health. Ye di na temport o radio so Ralph Ewuntia adan. Die na we ya na ko bonus no say Ralph me bu obi, me mu obi aho. Oso Debbie. Hwe se me kan mega simi Ralph de na say me kasa dodo. Menye me dede ana me se okura oduebu. Ndi ade unim se we ni na tone down. Relax na nyanko na Ghana no wom. Ebe na Ghana ye yanko a. Na Ralph said na kura kura ni na say Oko hono no na complain ana de koye because the patient na wo no nyoma so hwe no ono amu koye na se yehire ye nyama no o se wo ye bi pen o report mo benefo no o man fi no enti the subsequent one oko the Ministry of Health aso ye no ko report man say papa o center no say na me ko hospital la e ko so enye enti for nurse form ana so minister ka say o obehwe mama no na was aba be do bi wa na the same thing na say ano so ono de ma ehye na bu focus man overreact ye no e ono an sister the blood sister one mother one father sa negligence of nurse for ya e mani wi nti bibi sa na ya na tisna koma na ho ira no nti o so mu so mu ye the same thing no as a trauma na kai no akari de si pendina e so oriati but o person mu di CCTV camera na e wo hospital no omonfa camera na mra omon show footage a kire se oboness ni so omutumi kire a do pese Ghana mra na pese de ni bia na fanya no.
One of the Okada riders raised the front tire, was doing that antics and crashed through like almost 6 bikes, which my own was involved as well. And I realized that I was hurt myself, so I couldn't even use my bike no more. Another guy had to jump on the bike and ride us to the hospital. Remember, we were already going to the hospital to check up on the first accident issue that was the reason why we even used that stretch to go to the hospital to check up on the patient. So when we got there, the guys were already there. Those that took the guy was already there. So I had gone to them and asked them, oh, tell them mobile. And like, tell them share you and I went inside. When I went inside, I went to the I asked one guy, where is the emergency and the trauma room? And he showed me, and we went there. When we went, the guys were on the bed. Then I came out to ask that same guy. I tell it me pray and I'm make sure I'm stabilize and the guy came back to me. He said, I'm coming. He came back after some few seconds, not even up to a minute. The guy came back and he was like, and then a year, and I'm chairman. At this point, and then a year was him. Mumpe bim starting my paper, did I stop him with Janimam. So, hey, let me be so awesome and the guy left. He never came back again. So, sitting down waiting for him to come. This was about 10-15 minutes after he left. Nobody is coming. So I could see the nurses going in the trauma and emergency ward, coming out, attending to one man who was sitting down there. So I got up and went into the room again and had an engagement with them. And that was where I asked them, in a guy in the Sula Munsheno, was a card. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's your card into Munsheno. Come on, you know this is not done. Why do you say Obi Kwaje card into or the whole Munsheno? And the guy responded that in the Munkoto bandage was a boss and I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, card no Kwaje, you know. I feel yes, I'm going to was Masa from a phone. So I took my phone and started recording at that moment, not live. Because as an advocate, I wanted to get an evidence of that to speak about it later when we had left the hospital. So all these footages, they have no clue of it. I have everything that transpired, and I asked the lady, said, can it be him? So when your friend said, yes. So that was when the lady was like, mobile and I said, yeah, because I'm going to tell them the my pressure. Now I'm paying for you, we are seeking so that's when I demanded of my phone. And when I on the phone, the first thing I said, I said, no, can I record them out so that make me a body as well. If you want me to play the video, I have the video. I can play it, the sound can pick up. This was the video, my interruption with the lady. When I entered, we got into the room. One, two. Yes. Corruption, right? For director. Why? For director. Yeah. So say Ghana they pay for the corruption on way. Into money be and young fault. Mun talk about mun catch them paying for who help. Your friend is director. Director no. Captain no. Send your man a money be one. She can only go to Muti. So now okay. And a camera, no, come say because he said the only thing a man can put you with a camera. 25 seconds, but they easy outside. We can't even stabilize that shit. Come on, maybe I say, and you raise your mouth to say, I Ghana. What do you mean, I Ghana? To Ghana, the end to be the BBI. Ghana, the end to be the BBI. 5 minutes, so this conversation wasn't a live video. It was something I had recorded to have spoken about it when I had left the hospital. So upon this was when I stepped out again, right? And the lady claiming that he has been assaulted and abused came and said, oh, bruh, that was even the first time I saw him coming in, sorry. And one of the nurses had walked to me that then we say it, then we say, and I'm like, what is the meaning of this? So she came in and said, oh, the mama pet gauze need be so. She went inside, bought the gauze for me to put it on the hand, not to dress my hand or stop the wound. She went inside, she brought me the gauze because I was covering my hand with a scarf that one of the bikers had given to me. So it wasn't like he came to dress the hand, and I have the videos here. He brought me the gauze, and I asked, oh, the plastic why? And she brought it. So at what point that somebody who brought me that, I would assault the person? And I have the videos here. At what point? Now, when that incident happened, I was still sitting outside. Remember, I wasn't being attended to as in how emergencies should be attended to. That they came, brought normal sealant or that water they use in cleaning the hands. No, not that. She only brought me a gauze to put it on it and exert pressure on my hand until the found sanitary. This was the statement. Now why? But the stain got also soaked again with the blood, and I have to take it off. That is why she said, and when she said he wasn't comfortable, and my senior had asked him to go and take the card, and he said he's not going to take any card. It's a lie. When the guy came there in the first place to come and ask me about that, I had given my driver's license for one of the guys to go and prepare the card, and the card has been sent to Annie. So it's a fraud. It's a lie.
No, hold on.
Now,
the card had been given to who?
I had to send a copy of the card
to Annie. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have the rich hospital card that they had asked me to go and do it. I didn't even go and do it myself. I had to keep my driver's license, and I have the video telling the guy that whatever details they need, I think my Ghana card, my driver's license will provide it. So just go and do it. And I was sitting there for over 3 hours. We went to the hospital. Rich hospital didn't still clean it. It was when the whole incident escalated, and this was what escalated the video, the whole incident for me to go live. I went outside again, and the guys that had brought the first accidental casualties said, "Oh, Senior Ralph, your dress nevi." And I said, "No, you." And the guy said, and I quote, "You see why I am telling you that we should give them pressure? These people, they be pressured and they need you." And they started agitating. At no point did anybody physically assaulted any nurse. Maybe verbally, as who I am, I would admit that verbally people were agitated and using words, talking. But at no point did anybody physically assaulted anybody. Until the whole incident went, way wide. Then I went back to the ward again when one guy that was in there that has been arrested by the police came out to tell me that, "Oh, Sinara, where did you?" So I have that video when I was walking into the ward again, and the boy was vibrating on the bed. I am not a medical person, so excuse my words. The guy was on the bed shaking, and I said, "No, this is the point. I need Ghana to see what is going on. So if anything happens to this guy," and everybody can attest to it that the guy was on the bed dying, and the nurses were at the nurse station folding their hands, standing there. And the videos are clear on my live video I did on Facebook. So at what point, when doing the live videos, this was a live video. This wasn't a video recorded and being edited. It was live. So at what point did anybody assaulted anybody at the hospital? And when even the CEO came, the CEO had asked the bikers that at this point all of you should leave, go to the office and wait. So who assaulted who at what point? And it's all stories and lies. And I dare the Ghana Medical Council and the Great Hospital to bring the footage, the CCTV footage, and in the hospital. And in that ward, the trauma unit, I saw cameras there when I had gone there to visit the guy on the Monday. Because on the Monday, because of my advocacy, people think Rabjets make noise and do things as somebody who doesn't know what he's about. Okay. But when the thing happened on the Sunday, on the Monday, I had gone to the Ministry of Health, knowing that the Ministry of Health is the highest hierarchy when it comes to the medical institution. I had gone there to report the incident. But there had been an incident that a nurse had administered a wrong medication patient, where I had to go to the Nursing and Midwifery Council at Siasi to report this incident, and nobody gave me ears.
And I say, "Hey, nursing is Udika Boninguro Kai. Say our naked truth, so our Oldboga trends, Medica, their brother that. Say nursing, you abandon unity, Nensaho, ya Pajan and Sandia shed in a motor, sir, and it was in your phone. Ya born the phone as I know. Aside that, hey, boy, you born the chin and the bosso. Ralph says on Swamono, and it's okay. Young CCTV camera, near ready, Corso. Sa Ampan Yampa. Ralph Ebon and so on, unless you say CCTV footage, I mean, no, eh, be enough for a while, Mumfamaye. But according to initially, a Rich Hospital administrators Gasena footage bi ani ho me hu de ye footage I'm very certain say bia investigation e course no ntino ama footage footage aba no timi say hwe say raf e ko no so okọ no so no nsa na o say ye ne ya no ana oto ye o de bonus ni nsa and udu say nurse ni akura apaja ne nsa o ma raf warning and the second attempt to okọ no wo say ya so raf mu a preventing say onko nurse ni so these are the clear incidents you see here unless there's another video eba say bonus ni na enti Jesus na say Ghana for the settings ne jadam de huni mi o na nurse wo adu so the way ni ti eba na ji ni ti ni ebia na video fufu bi ho me nya sure say video ni na ni ba say ni na ni pa dia investigation health minister oyi we do nyankopon seraph ho kire na esa nurse ni ho kire because kai nurse ni enra agire ya the phone mo no I wati 800 Ghana cedis e da koma no because it's any phone happy say hospital bill ya sa no kama ama na ho ato no ni na ya Ghana ben fa hoka minister of health kwabuna minta account on the to phone no koma no because the phone asai Rafu born inside the NTB no kuta phone but my who's the phone be aso to phone per the CCTV camera menu me no ye hwe die bibi sense na wey ana say there be per footage ya hu Rafu nkoma wadi any health minister kwabena minta account nkoma modi die ese e ko back ne e ko busa Dr David Tenkran twum say ade na obuafu a wudi minister ya tema die ye ti ni die hu nyina no hwinsi ase ye hye hu ade e burusu bia no so die minister ni ye no nyankopo se nka no entwa ye this time around ma menkasa ye na munkasa mebuamfu me kan no kora na akere mo die minister ni ye entwa ye oyesa na so omu ye nurse fo no omu nurse fo ni midwife fo no adenti how on earth say wonim se nipa na ya report na ma no ogire wonim pe na woni na di nkomo na wokọ na hwiensi ana is a dream business na say mo the reference rich hospital director na also wo ye che ne se bi o say ai ono ko ya ko na ni ma ka che ne se de o ye yampe also my explanation by saying into because akwana oni ni hagi edi nkomo handshake no ene na esere no akwana ko buye nipa baako ese protecting nurse for no by all means by all cost now oni na esere enti enye minister no kwa no problem including omo director na mu gra no omo no problem ba omo na ka akukom de o church mu chire omo de omo so omo ntiase ene CEO na de na minister na ya ebroso ntia no still na won ntiase o say enti minister no won na bodyguard we police ni enyi nachi ade na wan order say be arrest no na say baby na the bodyguard so bodyguard no be da be care so say post wo a friend saying range hospital anim ho a police for wo anko betima order am ya be chi no me say general secretary abotre enti wo ti wo no nya Ghana nti krofo be wi ade a wo betwe say a friend say area MP anasa assembly ma ba ko report abo ana who team report munipa ne yabo no who member ne yabo no who kwanya bia as every Ghanaian say the minister ne Ghanaian na so be report am police for make arrest no further on with investigation na dey be bia say be here say no court ida court it dey here but it dey be the crane pa ne dey minister ne wanya ade.
I think this is an unfortunate thing, as you have reiterated. I mean, it's something that keeps coming up, and we will do everything possible in our capacity as a union to stop this, all right? So we've met management. They've told us the measures that they've laid bare to, if you like, mitigate whatever happened. But we are going to meet the nurses and midwives, and from there, we will take such appropriate action. As we speak, we don't know whether there's any evidence of arrest. I hope you understand. And if you heard the lady right, she said that the gentleman threatened that they will follow them up and take one life. Okay, I mean, that's clearly something that is unacceptable, and we cannot countenance that. And if we meet our nurses and they tell us that they are not safe to offer such essential service at the emergency area, then we will do the needful. Don't worry, when we meet them, and
which is when you are not safe at your workplace.
When you are not safe at your workplace, I mean, the law is very clear. I mean, if you read the Labour Act, Section 119, subsection 1 of the Labour Law, Okay, it's very clear that if you, in your own opinion, if you think that there is imminent danger at your life, okay, or at your health, you have every right under the law to absolve yourself from danger or to remove yourself from danger. And after talking to the nurses and getting to know whatever has gone on, we will take such remedial actions to guarantee their safety.
We say yango the Ministry of Health spokesperson ebiana obefua de General Secretary Dr. David Tinkran Chum eken anaso obefua ne boss so na enim dia say asasem no help we pusa kakra ye confused ye confused ana Tony Goldman o say na sa criticism we every o say die see obi enim say na minister no kra ni ho esi Sunday Monday ana odi kan suma Sunday na odi kan suma among for free the Ministry of Health ekọ head esi ana mo man report Monday no no atu na mo ko du ho and as a Minister of Health na so die ni say obi make sure say everything about the health sector edayi at that time Ralph na ye kan asen oye patient tese obi on so be dia yaresa enti at that very moment no enya bontisu ni bia na ho ya din bi na so ababo nurse ni o ayo obi on so yare ni enti as a minister no I heard the interest of both parties enya just one party minister no onye minister of nurses onye minister of doctors onye minister of Ghana registered nurses and midwifery from kwa osaye minister e de patients amayare amaba hospital enti nka onye den hormone na no the bodyguard e chinipa police minister bodyguard o chinipa o protecting minister enti o chinipa no na kwa who protect the minister enti nsema mo kan de omuntu ni down omuntu mo boss no mo criticism na ase omo ya exaggerate name no too much esema Tony Goodman Health Ministry spokesperson as for the two judge.
That is not actually fair to the Minister of Health. When this incident happened on Sunday night, on Monday, the minister directed a delegation to go there and see for themselves what actually happened and report back. The team got back, and the minister himself told the team that, no, since you said people were injured, I want to go see myself. He got to the facility, went to see this nurse, commensurate with the hospital, told this nurse that I'm going to make sure that your bills are taken care of. The lady said, I've lost some amount of money on my phone. The minister said, I'm going to make sure that we give you all those things. He went to see the other guy who was brought in and then resulted in this whole incident. Met management and said, please, this matter, I am not going to leave it here. The minister got the Adabraka police station involved. They got the persons who were attacked to go report. They got their medical reports and then went through treatment. When we were leaving the hospital, then a car pulled up. Then the guy got down and started shaking everybody, including the medical director of the hospital, staff of the hospital, and shook the hands of the minister. I'm not sure we want at that stage the minister to attack this guy or arrest this guy there. It is you've just mentioned the action. The minister's action is to get the people to inform the police that the said person was around. They did that, and then Adabraka police station came around. Ralph fled the place, and his other colleague was apprehended. This was not in the camera. You don't expect the minister to go into a public and start. I remember when the minister went to Tamale, and then he and the doctors issue happened. We said that is not the work of the minister. The minister is not supposed to do this in public. I'm not sure we are expecting the minister to be arresting Ralph in public. The minister is not a policeman. The Ralph at that time came to the hospital as a patient. We don't expect the Minister for Health to be attacking a patient in a hospital. He has asked the police to do the right. There are protocols of arresting somebody who is injured.
Now, when I say Debbie, Ebia, Ralph ni in this nintino. Now, Minister so in this nintina mind is a focus. Yanko busa na yente and some be few or more appointed people are this particular ministry. So, NDC communicator and also a government appointee, Hamza Suini. I don't say here, I say no, you know, Yankani Nani a Kabakwa, a Bessay. Or say first of all, and not just about protecting doctors and nurses from Kwan. It is also about protecting patients. And you read the allegation now. One, Ralph Meki. Was there a delay in attending to a patient? Was it a deliberate delay? And a bit more cause a harmful or damage to the patient. Necessarily, the onuna onoso a patient, the attitude and conduct. Say obo nurse ni no, and also say of filming here. Yan can in na yakasi ye tena faako. Ni focus on just the welfare of more doctors, nurses for no. Then who also speak for the patients? Because more now what they say you Ghana Union of Patients and the Association of Ghana. Yenibi. And as a patient, who also speak for the patients? As a minister, no, come on, Mumina, until young tree boss inside one side is there, and a chinchina can ya bonus in then young tree boss. Then we holistic point in the say, why and a course here, why and an hotel, then they see what say, they permanent solution. Where you need some Hamza, Suhini, and NDC communicator also kind.
First, quickly, you see, my attention has just been drawn to the fact that this said gentleman was the very person who not long ago assaulted one member of parliament from the minority side.
Yes, Tika.
Yes, Tika. Yeah. And I saw the video where the gentleman, even after he was granted bail, went to apologize to Tika. I think that his activities are becoming unacceptable.
I agree with you.
Whoever is encouraging that behavior, we must put an end to that action. This is unacceptable, irrespective of his political leanings, because this is not why we are given the mandate. If it is that, he's using his association with the NDC that is in government to engage in many of these things, then someone must stand up and stop that act, because it is going to give the government a bad name. It is unacceptable.
I agree.
Clearly unacceptable. It has to be stopped. And our security agencies must begin to monitor his operations. This is unacceptable, because it is his actions clearly unacceptable.
Very well.
Unacceptable. And I don't know why we treat such people with kid gloves. That is a public space. Even if you need to go and do from him, I assume that you need some kind of permission to go in there.
Clearly at the emergencies display.
Yes.
Medical records should be out.
And watching the videos,
So-
I was really
so you see-
patients whose faces were being exposed.
Yes.
And an elderly woman was in the arms of some.
No.
I wanted the public to know about my mother.
Most people at that point in time,
National
patients were even
security
naked.
must be interested in the activities of this gentleman. They must be interested in the activities of this said gentleman.
Very
Or
well.
else, if we are not careful as a republic, what is coming next from his quarters, we may not be able to survive it.
Not to cut my brother Hamza.
Briefly.
But people's medical records.
Now, na Ghana for so mu bi kana ma media o so ono kra de na adutwam. O say as dey here see your video yi ne ayi a friend say footage a yehu CCTV footage. Ye ne na yehu say nurse ni ya monitor as ya benanity. O say the ntie obi e kasatia rich. Obi am say raf ndo onye o. Amanfo mperaf na semba ko say. But unless for the ntia obi ankasa mamono kankan rich ho. O say omo ye die di omo rich ho no. The attitude and conduct of the nurses and doctors are more original and very, very unprofessional. It is how exaggeration here, or more exaggerated, said ye, Rafuni Bekuni Pabian, video footage in the Yahubi. Video be in the Yahubi. And the Yahui, dear Pan is here, Brosso and the next week, Mumma soon going to be. Mumma soon going to be in the Yahoo, yet Mumma, just the old three. Who did too much? The Yahui, more hospital, where chance are.
There are certain things be I don't see the reason why some of you will try to politicize it, because to me it doesn't make sense. Say atu obia sister ebetimi atu. The mediator shown is somewhere 2019 outrage, and it says Husband awarded 3 million Ghana cedis compensation following wife's death at Rich Hospital due to medical negligence. Or the Nigeria Hospital. Obana Freeninsa. Niama wo hu ya ne niama bi kire say. Nigeria wa free mu enya kwa aye due to medical negligence. Or the court di asem no abu asem na ma be ma no. Asa compensate no. But don't forget say Obana still na wa free mu. There are some mistakes that are reversible. I know some of you will come and drag me because I'm a health worker and I make us say. Me I'm a health worker and be so many. I took my dad to a teaching hospital. Dada, me kwa j soup with fear, bro. One painful thing is, me and I'm driving and waterfront was C19. Yeah, he wasn't even weak. Me kwa j soup aba and then oluma ne shafom. And to wada. So rough ne nim do okwa. But at a point, we are dragging him because saying for attacking us over NDC and only your massima. But next Nina was so rough I assaulting on a yate. At a point you say I want survey. Now on survey said and to memu. And to rough the one survey no so war and I want survey the mobu. And now Red Hospital no omuni city cameras are on betting my footage who say rough elbow in sunny moana. The drama is getting too much. I didn't see a back hospital, sir, and for bad reviews, sir. Okasa obi meka hospital asema bad reviews in kwa sa asem siwa na ya mpe no poma sibra ya na ebebere wo krom ha efise busa ho say wo na wo politicize sa asem we no so we area it is the same hospital you are going to visit. So let's take away the politics, let's take away the unnecessary drama and face the issue. And we are not saying, say, our nurses and doctors are not working. They are doing a good job. But the question, say, why is the bad reviews too much? Sir Ralph, he needs to face the law. And one, no. But footage, now he did nothing wrong. It means that he was being a good citizen. One penny cracker. Mama yam be a comment section. Now yam hospital bad experience, any good experience. Now yam share nipa ye benya wo ho. Me na me house work na e bia obofu me na e ye osad adana mekasa sa no. I've had a bad experience. And ti aje be na betu maka akira bontin suni. Come to the comment section, read the good experience and read the bad experience. And I heard a number of good experience at Ubenya. Sometimes, let's call the spade and not a big spoon.
Now, when it's Ghana, the BBC has seen for your police and your normal. And your normal, the Parliamentary Health Committee, Kaiser minority, for more the Parliamentary Health Committee for because I say no. And this is for the Minister of Health on taking action, non-sheriff, non-punishable. Oma police for 10 and 10 with immediate effect. Now, the other side also on the Parliamentary Health Committee, I this for say. MPP for one of cause of this problem is a day and day. Who hey then omuna cause. Or say omuna cause a Billian. Omuna cause. Or say one pencil and at Rich Hospital inadequate staff. Just say professionals say form a recruiter mom ko yedumano. Ya je won gufie. From 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Near ya impossible bia. Into omu understaffed. Into esana nipa ya Yoruba hospital. Instead of say benya about 10 nurses are or more 10 to 10 patients. You one nurse out 10 to 10 patients. And at the end of the day, as nurse near CCC na nako kaka bonglo to bonglo e ma mi e pa uri bom fire and you would never see so na how. Meanwhile, nurse ni no e use the discretion say so ohwe me a me say na abu ohwe wa uti na pai into according to ono ne nim dia wo no. Who did the AC? You tina pa ni serious chairman me na good. But at the end of the day, me as a patient, I'm also feeling pains. And to me feeling pains, now also feeling pains. Will I say, me trying me for the pains in to. None less in go attending to me na ni tia pa no. Abraham so me won chele me. Nam so me here face it. Say staffs no go doso. Enka we ma na ni na no say busunya bo sikadie basa MPP for die. Ana collapse the economy to say IMF share bramae. Say, hey, Muntimin Fowl workers do us. I don't know we have.
Has also issued a press statement condemning the issue. However, they have given it a political twist, which necessitates me to come in to explain the situation. If you take their press statement, which is before me, they speak of a certain minority member who was attacked by one of the perpetrators, and goes on to say that there was a cordial interaction with the Honorable Minister of Health, that is between that perpetrator and the Honorable Minister of Health. I want to explain this and repeat what the Honorable Minister said, that irrespective of the circumstances, the perpetrators had no right to do what they did. This was a statement from the minister, the verbal communication from the minister. I don't know why they have decided to ignore this and try to look at the non-verbal communication alone. But this is what the minister said, that irrespective of the circumstances, he condemns their action. Now, if you go further to paragraph 4 of the statement that they released, they are saying that they are individuals aligned with or have a sympathetic relationship to the National Democratic Congress. I thought that for what happened, we unite as a nation. We unite as people to condemn what happened over there. And yet they are trying to say that these are people who are aligned with the National Democratic Congress. That is very, very unfortunate. And I want to let you know that the NDC, and for that matter, the minister, has already condemned such actions. They are even claiming that we are silent about it. What type of silence is it when the minister himself went to the site and condemned this action? He even went further to state that he is going to set up a probe. That does not mean that the police should not do their work. So in as much as it is an unfortunate situation, and I want to call on my colleague medical staff that yes, the Health Committee of Parliament is with them in this trying moment. We are going to ensure that the case is investigated, and we are also going to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book. We are calling on the police to issue some form of a statement on how far they've gone with their investigations and then their actions. And I hope that our friends at the minority should not be playing politics with the health of the people of this country. And the root cause of this problem, I know that nobody has spoken about it, but I will speak about it. The root cause of this problem is the lack of medical staff, adequate medical staff in the facilities.
Now, the only idea, I said, "Fam baby, nyansa wom, but for baby, chama baby, I do no yet, and a woman blame game na pair, and get am to about TNPP. I mean, this ama. Find a way, fix the problem, solve the problem. We want solutions, not criticism." Now, Professor Titus Kofi Bayu, our member of Health Committee of Parliament, will say, majority and minority, wait. I don't think it's a political lens never. Mama na minority blaming majority, na majority for blaming minority no. Yanwe nurse ni ho kan ye, patients ni ho kan ye. Yanwe asam ne puma sibre solution, a permanent solution. Na munya say MPP, ADC, MYA.
Was a patient in the background. They lost their license because of this. So what are we condoning here? That someone can walk into a major emergency center with patients lying down in all sorts of states and go live, and it's acceptable? I mean, and no one is talking about that. That people can be assaulted at the place of work, and it's acceptable. So I don't think we should look at it in a political lens. I'm coming from the fact that what are the standards in our healthcare? If you think that these nurses did not live up to expectation, are there means for redress? If you think the doctors didn't live up to expectation, are there means for redress? And yes, they are. There are complaint mechanisms. There are management of the hospital.
But many have said these complaint mechanisms haven't worked over the years, and they are just there.
What do we mean by having to work? Have you not seen people sued and being paid, asked to pay millions of dollars, millions of cedis in this country? Have you not seen people feel that their care they got didn't meet the standard and they took the case to court and they won? We have doctors who have been suspended from practice. I have served on this professional and disciplinary committee of one of the regulatory authorities. We've struck the licenses of registered practitioners for not meeting the standard. So we shouldn't dare say that, oh, because I feel the system will not respond promptly if I make a complaint, then I should take the law into my own hands. Then where will we get to in this country? And remember, this is not like taking, then if you feel your teachers have not taught your kids well, you go to the school and beat them, or you feel the police is not handling your case well, justice is delaying, you go to the court and beat them. Is that what we are saying? And in the hospital where other people are lying down in pain.
Now no to ya say and yet say you when the political point there, ya can say be try investigation and a punishment. Say e koma obi bia o ye corporate bia. NDC communication team member ba ho I for the gift. And with the V. We are the Ghana funny country. O say here. Say investigation no go so we dey say Ralph woni fo a woni dey fanya no ai dey fanya Ralph ni na say o me pa cho enen ko e investigation here then ya court committee o meje per diem o meje lunch breakfast so me ya na duwa kura duwa numra meje sapa aka ho sai sika na betwa say ni na wo say ne kura ni na ne say wafuma Ghana mra ni wana mamra nya aduma o me pacho apology amame unye serious wo Ghana na ho ebi wa politics am yer na se e kire o ne egbo mo pa ho we NDC no NDC diden o me pacho keke like normal chopper we serious we okay say ye unya ana ye nurse ni na mpa ya bo na mpa de obetima ka kire Ghana fo na ne say nipa na obu nua no wafuma ye pacho eyewo asa oba na egbo wa mpa na mpa say investigation na no krasi abo a eya chopa na ohia. Come on, let's be sincere. Now why an NDC member again Hamza Suhini or say we on kind of plane fa or say onim de ntia sa Raf na nkasa na say ojimi sa aso ntia I say NDC fo bi ya so so Momo yam forget say we o kan NDC ho na we affiliated to NDC. Sanse bunu no say twa so. Adenti na obekwa ko do hospital na o frame yam fa ne say wa mones ni nimpu. Among for medical records that are not supposed to go outside. So obi maame yare, obi yare na ne condition on be se ebehu kai se nipa yare na se yare na e serious a ye ka kire wa ne se oh ne ho mfa no but the degree of yare ne yenka e unprofessional nurses ne doctors entimi nya se adwuma no na wo wako in a place a untimi nya se adwuma no wo de camera e de asi nurse for so e de camera e de asi amanfo ni na so e twa awie sa de abeto public. How dare you? Now we are waiting na awie a wo se yen so so oso obi bia o we ndisi mu bia na wo ma sa branch motivation no. This must end today. Yentwa so yema branch ni hu say hey Ghana na mra wo ha. Or say the same thing then before yeah to tia mu say na yeah Ghana for person ka omurane Ghana na come on to about me NDC nti ono de on miss west e plane fa raf no onyi ni panti obi a sa ne nsem na odi no ya stop ne ne na bufo no go say sa raf to ya an MP mu a okwasote no Stevia mu sticker owie be patcho na we anhwe ne se we sadi fo a wasa be patcho hallelujah. Amen and iwomu. Eti Rafun 7 on part 1, part 2, part 3. Hona kwa koduru nti ene. Sesi amika na kuzu amika sei. Health Minister say obe grant press conference. E dia ama Ghana for mo na say findings na course no investigation no. Jesie ye bete mu nsem ente kura. Na eno ana ama say Ghana for bi say he. Na say eye no kura pa say nurse ni anye na hwe a. And you like obefa no wedi totrotro ye mo ne ye mo no ye nche no enti wadada Ghana funi na kwa Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association for no penifo na omudi anim na aso omubu afu omudi minister atem no die ne omhwe hwinsi go e possible say life no di boni ampa ye ntwe na so say nurse for no hospital no so di intro tray ye ntwe omaso ye mpe one way traffic bia sekano afanu entwa ha etwa bankum entwa nifa ye mper off obi amuru Ghana mra no so untime dada Ghana fo nkoso fie panic entu Ghana ni bia so but ne kura ne se anase friday na nsem sisa amanfo nka bi mamuza mudin bonan dia say ya do so pa o almost every single individual even though nipa no be condemn raf na wie no obawie no da to so anase fo kura busu ba anye Obian say Ralph and say he's doing too much or was that just always exaggerating the importance. Now you say oh yeah John Dramani mama personal assistant. Ohun ne ho bro so now so ye huni na say odin kwa asem yi na achi no. Ye kan wi na say akase nurse for mu duebu. Mo so ba anye. Enti Minister of Health opportunity ni Ghana for complaining and a logical complaint in kwa among force experience in kwa no mo share as complain. Yen code of conduct na modema government appointee na bi nko sa nurse inside ho e bi wura sa side ho na mo nye nipa nche obi bia mo ntimi mo treat am for hospital na mo de kitwa bi to mo nipa na mo tie say general secretary di Ghana Registered Midwifery nurse midwifery say hey asem si tambale no mo hu de okoye ye ho say ye de anke aye mo de aden. They see them, I see what every hospital every single day. How you people minimum some matter degree knows a white you. You don't respect any human being. The only time you respect someone, any partnership suit, or the dress and look like so a cratchet, or a car or they buy a moving car, that's the only time you respect the person. Akoyema mi bi, abrewa bi, nananti and dress mu yesterday kakra ni ope kasan ho ba heart, treating by heart, more attending to the person as early as possible. Just say bibia ye basa. Mumonya no kasa. Mu de mu kwa na Ghana ye mu dia. Na nsi allowance amunya ye. Ye nya mu na mu nipa wu. If say munya allowance. Ezu edu se munya maduma so a na adu kokwasa sa. Wey aye naked truth our Oldboga trends. For comment to comment section na say nurse for na dwa ama mu general secretary Edema Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association. We did your health minister attempt. Kwabena minta and who did not tembasa. Was so a farmer on concussion juma yin and a juma now has unimie. Now and what you know, health minister abekasa or so on the nibun fu only attempt. Nemono investigation neba ni behu asem ne puma sibre. Rafa church ninsemu was so amones ni. Yanya footage ni bi. Since the footage dey yarn there, dem hwe ye ni dem yi kire we die aha wa mo na si nampa nemo no ne conduct still Ghana for say yinkwasasem na odi no and still say ya tena kura na wa mo nipa no mpo apa investigation o me pa acho serious acho papa but anase for no so the next year say ampanampa investigation ba na video fufuro bi ani ho na wa mo no dada Ghana for say yentwe na so ulitum yentwe na so anase Ralph na ye chese wodi ni nsem hunu ana this how we na abanti enya no na ne honto no comment no fatu comment section as we are subscribe like na share ma unia esu enya behwe edi no eye Maxi Billian naked truths Oldboga trends macro bye bye.